If you think you're putting in hard work, reassess and make sure that you're actually putting in hard work and you're going the extra mile because you're not entitled to success, no matter what. The reason why I wanted to make this video is because this idea of success and sacrifice has become more apparent to me in the last 4 months because of this one class I'm taking. Um, this class by far is the most cutthroat class I've ever taken, ever. And it's one of those classes where the professor is an innovator in their field, and all the universities around the world use this professor's curriculum. And you would expect professors of that nature and caliber to teach at schools like MIT, Berkeley, Stanford. However, he teaches at my school for some reason. And this class, in his eyes, is meant to prepare you for industry. But his way of doing that is to make sure that you literally cannot get through the class without knowing what you're actually doing. And the way he checks that is the day before the homework is due, he'll call on you in class. And by that point, you're expected to know everything in the homework and deeply understand it. And he calls on you. If you get it wrong or you kind of show that you don't understand, he'll take it off your grade, which is very unheard of. In my 4 years of university, that I've never heard of that, and I've never seen that happen. I've never heard of a class that does that, but this class does that. And if you do better on the homeworks than the midterm is like a variation of the homework problem, but it's a big variation. So you have to deeply understand the homework problem. If you do better on the homework than you do the midterm, then he asks you to go explain to him why that's the case and why you weren't able to solve the midterm problem, even though you were able to solve the homework problem. And at that point, it's better to not submit the homework problem if you don't get it. And, obviously, this professor takes cheating really, really seriously. You can't search up any online algorithm or this is a computer science class. So yeah, any code online, you can't search it up. And it forces you to deeply understand. But to get to the level of deeply understanding, at least for me, it's been taking 40 hours per week. And I've had to stick to a schedule that doesn't make sense to other people. So, for example, today I woke up at 8, but I went to sleep at 3. And I had to get to school at 12, so I did homework before I left. And that's been day in and day out. My social life completely out the window, which I don't really have a problem with, because as I get older and as I'm about to graduate university, I'm going to be alone a lot of the time, and I'm going to be focused on my own craft. So, that's a problem I could live with. I need to develop that skill. But my sleep schedule and my sleep schedule has completely gone out the window. And it's all in the name of doing good in this class, because if I don't pass this class, and I'm supposed to graduate, I'm projected to graduate in this June, 2025. If I don't graduate, or if I don't pass this class, I have to come back next January, which that would be a super bad situation. Just it would look bad on my transcript. I'd have to figure out how to fill in that time. I got to pay the university a lump sum of money, another one, to come back here. So, definitely not the most ideal situation. But sleep schedule has gone out the window. Everyone's like, why are you doing this? It's never that serious. But to me, it's that serious because I know if I just coast, then I'm not entitled to do good in the class if I'm just doing the bare minimum, just completing the homeworks. I'm saying this because I've learned, I've already touched on this a little bit. the importance of putting the extra mile, that the putting in the extra mile will set you apart from everybody else. And you have to be willing to do the stuff that other people aren't willing to do in order to get a shot at succeeding. So if you're running a business, this is one example I could think of. You have to do all the little marketing side quests, make sure your customer engagement's good, go out of your way to please your customers in order to get a shot at people coming back in the door or coming back to your website and purchasing more. If you're a musician, right? You have to spend extra hours in the studio making sure you're tweaking all the little parts of your song just for honestly people to ignore it at first. But people will pick up on the sense of dedication and the sense of care you put into your craft, and they'll come back to that. And the more work you put in, the better you'll get. So, I put in so many hours in this class, this school term, and I feel like my ability to critically think has improved, which is a great thing. But that came at the expense of hard work, going the extra mile, and doing things that other people aren't willing to do. I know a lot of people that wouldn't go to sleep at 3, wake up at 8, do that day in, day out. Sometimes it's even 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep. There's times that, okay, this is what I want to touch on too. Yeah, the ability to put your emotions aside, it's easier said than done. Everyone's like, oh, act independent of your emotions. But it's a harder thing to do than to say. There's days where I want to come home and just pass out on the bed and, or just watch a YouTube video and just wind down, watch a movie or something. But I can't. To make room for everything else, I have to put in the extra work, because not only do I have this class, which I think is crazy. I don't know why classes think that their class is the only class that students are taking. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I have this class, which is 40 hours per week. It's like a full-time job. Plus, then I got 3 other classes, and their homeworks take like 6 to 7 hours sometimes. It's just in different intervals. And then I have a club that takes 7 hours. Like, I only have so many hours in my week. And, to succeed and to get to your goal, like I said, you have to put in the extra mile. And you have to do things that people aren't willing to do. So, that's really all I wanted to say. Just assess the level of hard work you're doing. And if you really want your goal and you really want to achieve and go somewhere and, fulfill your aspirations, you have to assess the level of hard work you're putting in and make sure that you could be doing everything in your power to get that goal. Otherwise, just coasting and just doing a level of hard work that's not as hard as it could be, you aren't entitled to success. And success doesn't owe you anything. So you might not have a shot at it if you don't go the extra mile. So that's really all I wanted to say today. Have a great one, guys. See you guys in the next one.